What's up with these lab-grown diamonds? Well, I'm about to tell you right now. My name is Cory. I traveled the world with De Beers. I went to a diamond mine, I went to diamond cutting facilities, I went to Antwerp, Belgium, and I was trained by the experts at De Beers how to pick the perfect diamond, but also I learned how these lab diamonds were formed and grown. So let's talk about the natural diamond process and we'll lead right into the lab-grown diamonds. So natural diamonds are from the earth, right? There are diamond particles within the earth that rise to the surface with heat and pressure. That pressure is the earth collapsing on itself, and the heat itself is lava, and there's other gases and other things that help grow diamonds to the form that we know them, right? At that point, they're mineable, right? So they use explosives, De Beers, and they break apart the ground. They pick up this rock called kimberlite, which is a certain type of stone, and they bring it into this sorting facility where there are all these conveyor belts and other things rubbishing through the kimberlite stone, and with immense pressure, they crack this stone to a powder, and whatever is left is an uncut diamond, right? So now this diamond is then brought into this sorting area where they're sorted based on brightness and beauty first, and at that point, De Beers is done. So now you're a diamond cutter, you're a sight holder, a diamond tear. There's multiple names for you, but your job is to cut the diamond to the shape and form that we know them, right? So then you take this diamond, right, and you plot out how you're gonna cut it, right? So you go and you say, all right, we're gonna cut one round, we're gonna cut an oval, we're gonna cut a square, and you get the maximum you can off of this diamond that you have just purchased from De Beers. At that moment, how do you cut diamonds, right? I've heard people tell me air, water, laser, right? But they didn't have lasers back in the day. But if diamonds are the hardest substance on earth, which they are, then how do you cut a diamond, right? With another diamond, right? So diamonds cut diamonds. And what you do is you have diamond 1, you have diamond 2. It's already plotted on this computer with technology, right? How they're gonna cut this diamond. And then the diamonds naturally spin together, spin together, spin together. And whatever's left is diamond material or diamond particles. Sound familiar? A minute ago, diamond particles within the earth rise to the surface with heat and pressure and come to the form like we know them, right? So now these diamond particles have been stored for 140 plus years without a purpose, until now. So back in the 1960s, they took this diamond material and without the use of technology and things that we have today, they were able to regrow the first lab-grown diamond, but it wasn't sustainable. It took too long, the process was too much, right? But with technology and everything today, right, they're able to regrow diamonds using the same exact material, which we use in those diamond particles, to regrow these diamonds in a lab. So lab-grown diamonds, naturally mined diamonds. Both called diamonds at the end of the day, right? Because De Beers, who brought these diamonds into the world, they could have called them anything, right? They could have called them a gem, right? They could have called it a diamond, get it? Fake diamond, right? But they called it a diamond. Why? Because it's scientifically 100% the same. So look, I agree. They're not mined the same way. They're not naturally coming from the earth. They're not basically having to rebuild 4 times that to which they mine, right? You heard of the word tariffs? Tariffs have been thrown around a lot, right? So every single diamond that comes from a mine needs to travel and hop from country to country to country, and yes, it adds on expense. And look, I'm not discounting this at all. I'm just giving you the reason why diamonds are priced the way they are today in the natural world and why they are priced so differently in the lab world, because they're regrown in a lab. Look, the word grown is very, very key here because they're not lab-made, right, or man-made, right, because those are moissanite, right? Moissanite they call a man-made gem, right? Diamonds called lab-grown diamonds produced in a lab is interesting because there's no other way of comparing this to anything else other than one way, right? So if you have a child and that's natural birth and you have a child that's born through in vitro, right? Are they still children, right? Do you need to say this is my in vitro child and this is my natural birth child? Probably not, right? And you don't have to do the same for your diamond because scientifically they're 100% the same. They're built, they're graded based on the same grading standards, right? The 4 C's, right? There are diamonds out there that don't look as good, right? There are milky diamonds, there are bluish, grayish diamonds in the lab world, right? As far as milky, hazy ones in the natural world, they have similar traits, characteristics to the natural diamond. So now, if me and you take 2 diamonds, right? We have a natural and a lab, and I shake them up, right? Being the diamond expert that I am, who has a better chance, me or you, than guessing which one's which? Both of us. It's a 50-50 chance. Why? I can't tell the difference. There is no difference, right? So then how do we tell? There's one foolproof way to tell. You take the diamond and you put it into this tester, right? And you shine and you look for nitrogen. right? It's a nitrogen testing machine that looks for specks of nitrogen. If there are specks of nitrogen in your diamond, it's a natural diamond because that nitrogen is naturally coming from the earth, right? In a lab, they don't naturally do this and they don't put this into it, right? So you get to see there's nothing as far as the nitrogen specs inside the lab-grown diamond. That's how you tell. They do inscribe them, it can be polished off. They put a chemical on them, the chemicals can come off. Nitrogen is the only way. So whether you go natural or lab-grown diamonds, that's your choice. But you need to know the difference. Scientifically, they're the same. The origin is much different, and the price is much different as well. So learn more from the diamond experts here at Casale. Like and subscribe and share with your friends because they're going to get the most they can out of their diamond experience. But most of all, you need to be educated between the difference between a natural and a lab-grown diamond. They're both the same.